Hello, everyone. I felt deeply compelled to make this 911 message in response to a note that I received here in the last few days. And you know what, everyone? This work, as liberating as much as I love it, it can also be very heartbreaking to witness what people are going through, what human beings do to one another. And this note is from Phil. I want to read it to you all. And I'll tell you, the thematic here is don't let people toy with you. And never, now hear me and hear me well, never allow yourself to make someone a priority when you are clearly an option. And I'm going to come back to that in this message. Here it is. Hi, Sheila. I feel like a fool. On the off chance that you get freed up to respond, I really need your feedback here. I've just been sucker punched for the third time. I gave this woman, or should I say girl, another shot. And she cheated, lied, and left me again. My head is reeling. I could not mean much to her if she did it to me again. Do I retaliate? I feel like retaliating. Should I fade to black? Or give it yet another chance? She's asking for forgiveness. I truly feel emotionally unstable at this time. Thanks, Phil. Well, Phil, I'm not surprised that you feel emotionally unstable because you're being toyed with. You're being toyed with. This woman is toying with you. Now, the reason why she could very well be confused, it may be for kicks. She may be completely mentally unstable. The reason why doesn't matter as much as it's happening to you. We get so focused in on why is this happening? Why is this happening? When a more focused question is, this is happening. What is the impact to me? And how can I stop this? How can I stop this ever flowing current of pain? And Phil, I'm just going to talk to you. You were straightforward with me. I'm going to be very straightforward with you. And my grandfather had a wonderful saying. You hear me say, never make someone a priority when you've been placed in the options pile. I'm prettying it up because my grandfather would say, never give someone sugar when they've treated you like S. And S doesn't stand for Superman. When they have treated you like garbage. And I say that, you all who've listened to the channel for a while, you know that I am an absolute lover of relationships. I am a firm believer in forgiveness because the Lord has forgiven all of us for so much. That said, all of this needs to be tempered with balance and with paying attention and calling on our faculties and common sense. Because at the end of the day, and Phil, you asked, should I, do I retaliate? Absolutely not. Because what retaliation is going to do, and I've said this before, you cannot dig a grave for someone without burying yourself at the same time. That's going to be a heavy outlay of energy, and it's going to come back and blow back on you. Do you fade to black? I'll say a little bit more about that one in a second. Or do you give it a second chance? What everyone needs to realize, when you position yourself, it doesn't matter. It could be within your family, within life, within business, with your children in the workplace. When you allow someone to behave badly, behave recklessly, and you say repeatedly, once, twice, again, I'm a believer in second chances, but I'll tell you, there are some behaviors, lying, cheating, walking away, abuse in a relationship, when someone really understands the magnitude of what they've done, it doesn't happen again. Things are put in place, they clean it up. That kind of thing stops inside of focused attention and corrective action. So Phil, for you, and I'm just going to be as compassionate and clear as I can. God is not the author of confusion. You are inside of a pattern, and whether this woman knows or not, she is communicating over and over again, I'm not ready for a respectful, mature, loving relationship. And she may not know how to communicate that. And there may be parts of her and parts of the relationship that are very pleasant, that are warm and uplifting. That's not what we're focused on here. Those aren't the parts that are causing the problem. But it's clear that there's an aspect of the relationship that is toxic. It is debilitating. And it's a huge mistake when people turn away from that and just focused on, there's been so many good times. There's been so many good times. If those times were genuinely healthy, if the relationship was genuinely healthy, and you've heard me say over and over again, anything that's good together, things that are good together, stay together. Nothing good, nothing truly good and meant to be ever breaks apart. When there's constant patterns of upheaval and tears and crying, the thing that we miss is who you're dealing with. That's the person in front of you. You can't deal with the wish of who you want her to be, who you want him to be, because I'm speaking to everyone out here today. You're looking at the person who is in front of you. And Phil, the question I want you to ask yourself is, what is going on with you, and what part of you feels that you are deserving and need to continue to open yourself up to this level of degradation and of abuse. And I'll tell you, going back to the core statement, never make someone a priority when they've made you an option. When you're an option for someone, you'll feel it. They will absolutely let you know. You feel optional. You feel like you're placed on and off the shelf. You feel that when it's a convenience for them, they'll come around. When they got something more interesting cooking, they leave you. You'll feel like an option. And when you allow yourself to be in that space, whether you're wishing and hoping in the backdrop or not, no one's ever going to tell you, the person who has you positioned as an option and as a convenience, they are never going to let you in on their little secret. And I'll tell you what their little secret is, because I've been doing this work for 28 years and I've sat across from enough people. They've revealed the secret that they keep from you. The secret is, you know what? I'm very comfortable. And I don't have to raise my standard. I don't have to treat this person in a dignified way, because they don't even feel that about themselves. I've been permitted to do what I'm going to do, what I want to do. And that's the dirty little secret, that no one who has you positioned as an option, they're not going to tell you that, because, hey, people like their toys. I like you over here. I don't want to let you know my frame of reference, but I'm here. This channel is very valuable because I've cracked a lot of codes for people. I'll tell you the things, I care about each and every one of you. We don't need to meet for me to extend my care and my compassion. That's why I do this work. This is not paid work for me. Okay, this is a passion project. It's a labor of love, period. This is not how I make my money, believe me. So I'm telling you right now, because the work that I do, that I did for many years as a therapist has truly informed me of what is going on behind the scenes. And no one's going to tell you that who has you positioned as an inconvenience, because you are like a toy that they want to take on and off the shelf at will. And people don't like their toys taken. But the problem is, when they take you off the shelf and have fun with you and they're playing with you, that's all good and dandy. But the problem is when you're left on that shelf by yourself to suffer pain. When are you coming back? What's going on? And believe you me, Phil, she knows damn well what she's doing. It's not going to be articulated to you. You sound like a really amazing person. And I know how it is. The people who are attracted to this channel, they're the most amazing people. They have big hearts. You hear one of my videos, it resonates because we have the same heart. It's the like mind. This is not a mega channel. This channel attracts, it's a vintage, it's like a boutique style program. Is tailor-made for a specific kind of soul. And that's who's attracted to these messages. So you better believe I take it very seriously. I'm telling you the gospel, the God's honest truth as I know it. The people who are toying with you, I'm not going to say that there's not feelings there, that there's not fun, that there's not enjoyment. Human beings are multidimensional, but I'm telling you there's an aspect to what they're doing. They know very well what they're doing, and you're positioned as a convenience and as a toy, and that's how they'll operate with you. I've seen it over and over again. I was a toy. You're listening to a former toy. And once I figured this stuff out, the Lord got a hold of me and I got a hold of a YouTube channel. Once I put this stuff together, no one's toying with me today. You better best believe that. In any capacity, there is nothing to be ashamed of. Being sad, being hurt, being wounded and diminished. But I will tell you, Phil, if you don't, what the Lord is showing you through this repeated behaviors that you're dealing with this person, what the Lord is being very benevolent and kind. Like we can stop it here. And what happens is it gets perpetually worse. I've seen it over and over again. I have sat with people on psychiatric units because they've been driven to do things just because of where a relationship has taken them with the wrong person. You cannot allow yourself to be raked over the coals. And the other thing I tell you is nothing wrong with making a mistake. You gave a chance, backsliding, whatever you want to call it. Do you want to be 9 feet from home base, or do you want to be 100 feet from home base? I'll take the 9 because it's not that far to get back home. You slip up, go right on back to home base, because I'm telling you, some of you are hearing this and is just the message is tailor-made for you because you're going through this stuff now. And Phil, I know a big fear for me when I was dealing for longer than I should have in a toxic relationship. I would tell myself repeatedly, what if this is as good as it gets? What if I'm literally, this is the best. This is the best that the Lord has for me. What if I end up by myself, sitting, eating tuna out of a can and just depressed and lonely, that those thoughts were playing through my mind over and over and over again. And I prayed over those thoughts. And you know what came through my spirit? You know what came through my spirit? Sheila, Sheila, who do you think placed this desire for love and a healthy relationship in your heart? Who do you think put that there? And do you think that I'm going to have you walk through this life with that desire and longing in your heart? Woman, I'm trying to get you situated now. I can't do it in your state of mind. I'll bring you something you can't even recognize it. And the Lord started ministering to my soul to fight through and to understand I did not place you here to be anyone's toy. You want a toy, you get to the toy store. You order something on Amazon. That is not who I am. And sometimes we need to work on ourselves, hold our spirits up in prayer to understand who we really are here on this planet in this lifetime. And is it hard as hell? Yes, it's hard to take that walk and to just get over the initial shock to your system when you're getting yourself together. But Phil, I'll tell you, no, I don't want you to retaliate on her. I don't want you to retaliate on yourself or anyone else. The only retaliation and revenge I want you to get is the best revenge, is to live well, work well, be well, elevate your life. These couple individuals who took me through hell, and I do mean hell. I felt the hell fire on my behind, and I look today and believe me, when I say hell, I do mean it. And I look today and I say, thank you. And I would take the walk 20 more times because the Lord was making every attempt to bless me. I'm trying to get you out of it, Sheila. You got to meet me halfway. That's what's going on, Phil. I hope I answered the question. You're being toyed with, and I'm sorry. And I know how that sounds, and I know how it's hard to hear. And I didn't want to hear it myself when I had to face the realities. I hate that I have to say it because I know where that lands. But if I don't share it, if I don't say it truthfully, then I'm doing a disservice. And so I stopped what I was doing because I got I want to support you, Phil. Listen to it over and over again. I know what I'm talking about. You skeptical, then pray over the message. If you need another thunderbolt, the Lord will send it. Everyone, this has been a 911 message. You share it with anyone you feel can benefit. Sheila Robinson Kiss, The Lift. I'll be back soon.